Hi everyone. I can see that our numbers is taking up. I'm Ricardo Smart and welcome to our webinar today. We're just going to give all the participants some time to join, but feel free to comment where you're from so that we can see how many of our audience and where they're from, so just to learn more about you guys. So please feel free to comment on the Zoom webinar chat. And thanks for coming and taking the time out to be with us today. I see that we're nearly over 100 participants. That is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for joining. I see we have people from Cape Town, South Africa, Johannesburg, Pretoria. Well, thank you and welcome, guys. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to us today. That is absolutely amazing. For those that just joined, welcome and please feel free to comment where you're from. So we want to learn more about our audience. We have Mossel Bay, welcome. Pretoria, welcome. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. Botswana, wow, that is absolutely great. Welcome. International members are also here. Northwest University are representing. Greetings from Pretoria, South Africa. Durban, Pretoria. Welcome, everyone. I see our numbers are still increasing. Thanks for coming and thanks for attending the webinar. Polokwane, Bloemfontein. I hope I'm going to say this correctly, is Watini. Wits are also here today. Welcome. Klerksdorp. Welcome, welcome. Johannesburg, Centurion. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out to attend. This is basically about how to successfully apply for a Golden Key Scholarship. And I'm quite interested to what our speakers have to talk about today. They are students from different South African universities. So we're going to listen to them and have a quite broad perspective of how these universities that is part of the Golden Key Society, how these students experience the platform, and also some advice here and there based on some feedback that they have for all of you guys that chose to be here today and how you can perhaps improve your application and be the next successful recipient. Welcome, welcome. I see we also have more Durban people, Johannesburg. Welcome, welcome everyone. Nelson Mandela Bay, wow, that is absolutely great. Welcome everyone. So we're just going to give those 3 more minutes for everyone to join up, because I do see that the number is still increasing in terms of participants, and then we will officially start. You may feel free to ask some questions on the Zoom webinar chat. We will take note of it and also communicate that to the particular speakers. Welcome, the Capetonians are also here. We appreciate your presence. Nelson Mandela Bay, welcome. So yeah, so you might feel free to ask some questions. We will communicate that to the relevant speakers, and hopefully you will be able to get some insight on the, maybe if you have certain uncertainties, you will be able to get some insight over there. But thanks for joining. We're just going to give some few minutes for other people to join. But I'm glad to announce that we are about 160 participants up until this point. That is absolutely amazing. Wow. Hi, everyone. Johannesburg is in the place. I also see there was Joburg, Durban, Botswana, Nelson Mandela Bay, Klerksdorp. Welcome, everyone. Yeah. So we're gonna start in the next minute, and then we will officially kick off this webinar. Please make use of the chat box if you have any questions for particular speakers. We will try our best to attend to them at the best of our ability. One more minute and then we'll officially start. Welcome. I do see more people joining. So welcome to the Golden Key Southern Africa webinar, and we will be starting soon. All right. We will officially start. So, good afternoon in South Africa. So it's good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the newly launched Golden Key Academy, a place of online learning developed by Golden Key, specially for our members. It has been created in response to feedback from our members telling us they want more career support and expert guidance. We listened and have created a website filled with videos, articles, and ebooks. If you haven't had a chance to go and check it out yet, please do. One of the best things we're offering as Golden Key of Golden Key Academy is a packaged schedule of live webinars like this one. We're doing our best to select speakers and topics that are relevant to you. So please feel free to give us feedback anytime if you would like to learn more about anything specific by emailing thoughtleaders@goldenkey.org. I repeat that, it's thoughtleaders@goldenkey.org. Today, we will be discussing or we will be focusing on how to successfully apply for Golden Key Scholarship with the amazing speakers from different South African universities. All the speakers today are proudly recipients of the Golden Key Travel Grant 2020, of which they have attended, including myself, the Golden Key International Leadership Summit in Brisbane, Australia in February this year. I would like to greet all our African participants in this webinar today, and as well as our international participants. Welcome, good morning, and good afternoon, depending on the time zone that you're in. Please note that we might have some internet difficulties throughout the session, because we are streaming from different angles of South Africa, but please stay tuned. We will try our utmost best to stay connected with you guys. So to start off with our series of speakers today, the first speaker that will talk about eligibility is Tuli. Now, Tuli is currently a BA honors student in psychology at Nelson Mandela University. She serves on the Golden Key Executive Committee as the professional director in leadership. She is passionate about helping and volunteering in local communities where she gets to explore her leadership skills, but mostly deliver to those in need. She is driven by a quote from Nora Ephron: "Your education is a dress rehearsal for a life that is yours to lead." Thank you, Julie. I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Thanks, Ricardo. Hi, everyone. Like Ricardo said, I'm Tuli Chauke, and I'm currently doing my BA honors at Nelson Mandela University. And today I'll be briefing you guys on how to check the eligibility of a scholarship that you might be interested in applying for. To get to it, I'll start with always check the submission dates for your scholarships. This is quite important because you need to know when you're supposed to submit your application. And for instance, some scholarships might tell you about the scholarship before they even open the platform for you to apply. And some scholarships might open immediately as they tell you about it. So it's quite important that if you have all your documents and all the information, it's quite important that you get to it immediately. However, if you still need to gather your documents and everything, make sure that you jot down or you write it on your calendar so that you know and you don't miss the submission date. We also want to look at carefully check if the scholarship covers for undergraduate or postgraduate. This is important because not all scholarships come with the option of funding a student for any year. So some might specify that it's for first years only, and some might say that it's for postgraduate or undergraduate. And then carefully check if the scholarship you're applying for is in the field of interest that you want. So this will be whether you're applying for a scholarship under journalism, engineering, or psychology. Next, always read the required skills and the grades required to qualify. This is quite important, and make sure, guys, that you don't exaggerate your grades, memberships, skills, or qualification. And you are most likely to receive a scholarship if you apply for the ones that match your interests or skills. And in most cases, you need to know that you're going to need to provide proof. So this might be your academic transcripts or your certificates. Always check if the scholarship is accommodating to your needs. You'll be doing this to make sure that the scholarships will be able to cover your necessities. So this could be like your residence or your textbooks, for instance. Make sure that it is accepted by, make sure that it is accepted by, or it accepts the institution that you are in, right? Institution, university, or college. This will help you not waste time in applying for scholarships that are not even applicable to you. Okay, always check the duration or time period of the scholarship. This will help you know if like how long you're going to be dependent on the scholarship, on whether you need to renew it. And if you know that, you will know that, okay, fine, you need to get the documents that are needed so that you can be able to renew the scholarship. Next, you're gonna need to gather as much information as you can about the scholarship. So you finding or checking information about the scholarship that you're applying for will help you decide if whether you want to personally partner with the people that are offering the scholarship, if you want to work them in present time or in the near future. And always find information about the scholarship in whether it can be used in conjunction with another scholarship, because some scholarships might only take you and then only pay for your tuition fees, while others also include other things. So just take note, and then yes, take note. And then also take note gather information if whether you're going to need to work back, or the work back time, if whether they give you the scholarship, you're going to need to be with the company for like a year if it's a company. Yeah, that is also quite important, so that you know that, okay, fine, if you're done with this, the following year, you're going to have to work for maybe a year or a few months for that scholarship. And also check if you fail a semester, or you fail a module, or you drop a module, also check like what's the procedure to that, whether you're going to need to refund that amount or just information regarding that. That is all from me, guys. However, if I missed something, or you feel like there's some important information that you want to add, we'll be gladly accepting to whatever you want to say. You can put it on the comment box. And thank you. I'm going to hand over to Ricardo.
Thank you so much, Julie. I particularly love the comment that you made based on the submission dates. And I want to put emphasis on that. You need to take note on what time frame the particular scholarship that you wish to apply. Make sure that you know what the time frame is, because it will state a date and time. So make sure that the time, if it's South African time, for instance, make sure that it do state that, because sometimes some scholarships will be in the time zone of the Americans, or the Australian time. So you just need to make sure that you do not miss the deadline because you haven't checked for the submission date and the time zone that is attached to that. And I think that is quite relevant, what you have shared. And I personally, I made notes as you were speaking, and that is one of the points that I've also made for myself. So thank you very much for your time and sharing your experiences. So moving on to our next speaker, I have seen, before we move on, I have seen we at 180 participants. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today and by sitting in, listening to the amazing speakers that we have here today. Our next speaker is Megan, and Megan is a third year medical student at Stellenbosch University on the Tigerberg campus. She serves on the Golden Key Executive Committee as the Vice President, and she is passionate about helping others, and she aims to integrate her medical education with community building. Over to you, Megan.
Thank you, Ricardo. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Smith, and as Ricardo said, I'm a third-year medical student at Stellenbosch University, and one of the students who had the privilege of traveling to Australia earlier this year, pre-COVID, of course, thanks to a Golden Key travel grant. It was such an amazing experience, and I will always be thankful for the Golden Key for this opportunity. Golden Key is quite literally the key that opens so many doors for you. They offer a magnitude of various scholarships and grants, and all that we as members need to do is apply. This webinar's aim is to help students with the application process for Golden Key scholarships and grants, and to emphasize just how easy and accessible the process is. I think that there's a stigma sticking to these applications where most of us assume it's a difficult, complicated process, or we start to think, what's the point of applying if I won't even get it? But there's no harm in trying, and the application process is actually quite straightforward, and they guide you step by step. To make it easier for yourself, I would recommend making a checklist just to make sure that you have everything before you start the application process. It's always a good idea to regularly check the Golden Key website for available scholarships and grants. And once you find one that you qualify for, just double check all the application requirements to make sure you have everything you need. Then you get your documents in order, in PDF format, of course. These documents usually include a recommendation letter, your CV and a cover letter, your academic transcript, as well as some type of motivation. When it comes to your recommendation letter, think about the different people you can ask for a letter from, and make sure that you give them adequate time to write a proper letter for you. Next, you have your CV. Make sure your CV is always up to date. I regularly update my CV even if I won't currently need it. This way, whenever I do need my CV, I know that it's ready to go. Golden Key scholarship applications usually accept an unofficial as well as an official transcript. And then when it comes to the motivation, it depends on the application. Some ask for have essay questions where you will be asked questions like why you are applying or why you think you deserve it, whereas other applications ask for a personal statement that details how you exemplify the society's commitment to academics, leadership, and service. My advice is always to prepare your answers before you even start with the application. Then you can look at different scholarships and grants on the Golden Key Scholarship portal. Some scholarships are done by filling in a form, whereas others are done through the ISTS website. If the application needs to be completed through the ISTS website, you need to create an account. This website will allow you to apply step by step. It literally puts the application form into different subcategories and shows you exactly what you need to do. And the best part is that you don't even need to complete everything at once. You can decide to complete your application over a span of time. Just ensure that you don't apply too close to the deadline. Give yourself some room in case you forgot something. It is your responsibility to make sure that your application says complete and that all your documents have been submitted as well as accepted. Only then when your application is complete will your application be considered. Winners and non-winners will then be notified via email within 120 days following the listed application deadline date. And that's everything from my side. Good luck to everyone applying for scholarships. Back to you, Ricardo.
Thank you so much, Megan. Yes, I do appreciate the fact that you have highlighted some of the things that is needed for the scholarship that includes your CV, the transcript, and also the references. And really highlight essay questions, which means you need to plan beforehand to know what you intend to, what you would like to share to the potential readers. And writing an essay also takes some time in terms of your type of ideas that you would like to share in your application. So I'm glad that Megan has highlighted that. So it requires you to give yourself some time to work on your application. One thing that is also mentioned was that you can access the platform numerous times until your application is successful. So thank you for that, Megan. And yes, you have indeed shared quite some value insight based on that. Moving on to which is Ntombi. So she's going to talk about how to get your references. So she is a transport economics honors student who recently completed her BCom degree in logistics management at Northwest University Mafeking campus. She served on the Golden Executive Committee as the chapter president, and she is an assertive individual who is eager to learn and explore and demonstrates an excellent academic record together with her expertise as a team leader, a team player, and leader. Over to you, Ntombi.
Okay, thank you very much, Ricardo. Hello, everyone. I am Ntombi Dladla, and as introduced by Ricardo, I'll be covering the aspect of how to get references when you're applying for a scholarship. The three questions that I'll be addressing are when and where is the reference letter required? Who should be your referee, as well as the content that should be covered in a reference letter. Okay, so according to Jessica Marinaccio, Dean of Undergraduate Admissions and Financial Aid at Columbia University, scholarship, reference, or recommendation letters are a crucial component of the application and admission process to a student obtaining a scholarship. The letter of the letter for the scholarship enables the institution to determine the quality of a student's character and his achievements, which allows the organization or the school to decide whether to award the scholarship to a student or not. Therefore, one needs to be very strategic in whom to ask as their referee. Coming to the question of where and when is the reference letter required? When a student applies for a scholarship, an academic grant, or when applying for an enrollment in school, a reference letter or recommendation letters are usually required. The fundamental reason behind this requirement is to gain deeper insight into the content of a prospective student's character. Reference letters should include details of a student that cannot be obtained in his or her academic records, test scores, and grades. And then the following point is the very most crucial point that one needs to pay attention to, which is whom to choose to be your referee. A referee should be someone who knows you very well and can talk about your character, interests, and experiences with expertise, of course. Therefore, the best recommendation comes from an individual who knows you, whom you have worked with closely, and can highlight all the aspects that I've mentioned above. This can be your teacher, your college professor, lecturers, former employers, members of the church, leaders of the community, and many more. A reference letter should have known you for a year with frequent interaction to best comment on the aspects of your character, accountability, credibility, work ethic, leadership skills, and many more. The referee writing your recommendation letter must have a clear understanding of the aims and types of the award which you are applying for. He or she must demonstrate the skills and quality related to the scholarship that which you are applying for. And then the last part of my presentation will be covering the content that should be included in the reference letter. The first part of the scholarship reference letter needs to state the reason as to why the student is applying for the scholarship. This means that it needs to provide a clear details on why the referee believes a student is deserving of the scholarship. Secondly, the letter should demonstrate essential characteristics of a student. This should be the zeal, interest, and any special accomplishments of the students that he or she might have achieved. So this concludes my presentation. If you have many more questions to ask based on this aspect, feel free to ask on the chat box. And what I will do is I will put the links on the chat box if you want to see the examples of the reference letters that are available online. Yeah, thank you very much. Over to you, Ricardo.
Ricardo, you are muted.
Okay, thank you for everyone online so far. We have a number of questions regarding GPAs in the chat function. We have posted how to calculate your GPA. So you're welcome to have a look at that if you do need it to apply. And then thank you, Ntombi, for that speech. Or your presentation. I would now like to bring up Tiamo. Ricardo, are you back online?
Yes, and apologies with regards to that. I've just noticed that Zoom has connected me again. As I was saying, so what Ntombi has mentioned is that you clearly need to discuss the feedback, discuss all the details about the scholarship so that your referee can include that into the application, which is quite relevant because your reference letter do count a lot towards the success of your application. So thank you, Ntombi, for sharing those valuable. I haven't thought about it previously. I will definitely take care of that in my future application. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move over to a demonstration where Chiamo and Aubrey will talk about how to write a cover letter. Chiamo is a final year BCom financial accountancy student at Northwest University, Mafeking campus. She is a young woman who strives for excellence in everything she does. She believes there is always room to learn and grow, no matter how educated you may be. She is motivated and believes that discipline and dedication is limit to what we can achieve. Our speaker is a real and is a master student in market management focusing on green at Northwest University Marketing. He is currently the Golden Executive Committee. Executive Committee as the president. He is passionate about sports and is the executive producer of the Northwest University Sports Show. He's also the chief sports editor for Network Live News. Over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiamo. I am currently completing my BCom degree in financial accountancy at the Northwest University. The aspect that I will cover together with Aubriel is how to write a cover letter. Now, the first thing you should note when writing a cover letter is that you must open strong. You have to be interesting from the onset and throughout your cover letter. Make the reader, make those people offering the scholarship want to know you more and want to read more in your cover letter. Be confident and positive, but do not be arrogant. One other thing you should know is that you have to follow instructions. If they tell you to write in a certain grammar, in a certain font, use that. If they tell you to submit in PDF format, use that. Do not be too long and do not be short. Do not be too short, but be detailed. And throughout your cover letter, you need to convey your enthusiasm and your excitement for the scholarship. One other important aspect is that you should not repeat your CV or your resume. Your cover letter should complement your CV or your resume. It should not be an exact repetition of it. The cover letter is a platform for you to expand on your resume. It is not where you're gonna reiterate the information, but rather to say more or let them know more about you. That is all from me. I'm gonna give over to Aubriel, who will further expand on the tips and strategies of how to write a cover letter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tiamo, and thank you, Ricardo, as well, for introducing me. Aubriel Maposa from Northwest University. So with the cover letter, in most cases, we find ourselves not fully putting ourselves out there, not putting our personality in our cover letters, in our motivational letters. And that's something that we should avoid at all times. We should give a glimpse of who we are in person. As an individual, you have to show your personality, show some humor if you have to, but do not overdo it, of course. So it's very important for you to give a glimpse of who you are in person or in your cover letter. Another point is you need to indicate why you believe you're the best candidate. Showcase your skills, knowledge, and experience as well. Highlight your achievements and explain why you're the best suitable for that scholarship or grant. And never lie, of course, in your achievements and one of your biggest accomplishments in life as well. Make sure that you refrain from stating something, even something that you haven't completed yet. So in a case where you are yet to complete a certain course, a program, or a degree, do not indicate it as a qualification that you have already. Last but not least, have a strong closing. Siamo mentioned that you need to have a strong introduction, you need to have a strong start as well. Your closing as well have to be very, very strong so that you make an impression, they remember you, whoever is on the panel reviewing the scholarship applications, they do recall from your closing. So make sure that you have something interesting and powerful enough to make them want you to contact them in your application. And in closing, let me say that cover letters should address everything that have been highlighted or given as hints, particularly on the rubric that is usually submitted by different scholarships. They do indicate that in your cover letter, do indicate maybe how you were brought up, how your background, as well as possibly your current involvement. So make sure that you cover all the aspects that are indicated there. And of course, do not forget to stand out. Thank you. Back to you, Ricardo.
Hi everyone, I'm just going to take over for Ricardo quickly. Thank you so much, Chiamo and Aubriel. That was really valuable. And it just showed a different perspective when we write our cover letter that we tend to forget about. I really liked how you said we should give a glimpse of who we are. And it's really important to stand out in your cover letter. Thank you so much. Next, we have Samantha. She's going to cover frequently asked questions on scholarships. She's a law student at Nelson Mandela University and served on the Golden Key Executive Committee as a secretary. She's a contributing writer for the Africa Matters Initiative and is passionate about Pan-African literature and commercial law. Over to you, Samantha.
Thank you, Megan. I am Samantha Msiba, as Megan stated, and I had the privilege of being the part of the Brisbane team for the Golden Key Asia Pacific Leadership Summit. It was such an uplifting experience, and I am assuming that many of you are looking forward to a similar experience. So I will shed light on some of the frequently asked questions. So many are asking what scholarships are available. There are many scholarships available that you will have to go to the website to check. So for instance, of note for the undergraduates, there's the Golden Key Undergraduate Achievement Award. And for the postgraduates, there's the Golden Key Graduate Scholar Award. And the next question would be, how do I know which scholarship to apply? You have to go to the Golden Key website, and on the website, log into your account and click on the scholarship tab, which will direct you to the scholarship portal. So you must use your profile to start and monitor your applications. And also, if you want to check your eligibility, then you have to use the scholarship portal and go to the specific scholarship that you're interested in and just scroll down and you'll see the details necessary for you to apply. The following question is, are the scholarship application deadlines strict? Yes, they are strict. You must apply before the stipulated date and time, as Ricardo mentioned, and it is also important to note the time zone for the application and make sure that it is coherent with your own time zone. For instance, the Golden Key Undergraduate Award, the deadline is the 23rd of December. So you have to check what time and make sure you apply well beforehand, before the deadline. Which documents are required? There are different requirements for each scholarship. However, for all the applications, you need your current academic transcript, motivational letter, and a recommendational letter. So please use the advice that my team said to do the recommendation letter and the motivational letter. Another question was about the GPA, particularly for the South Africans who do not use the system. So it has been explained for the benefit of those who did not see it. So you divide your GPA by 100. Say, for example, you have 79% on a scale of 100. You divide that 79 by 100, then you get 0.79. Now take that 0.79 and multiply by 4, then you find the GPA. So in our example, your GPA would be 3.16. So if you want to check again, you can just go to the Q&A function and you will see the example written there. So if you have more questions, please just drop them in the chat or send an email and we will respond. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. I do want to apologize for having networking issues from my side. I'm not sure why did it happen. Thank you so much, Sam. Yes, I will definitely repeat the GPA that you just said. I will share that with everyone once I have read up everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to summarize on what all the speakers have shared today, Tuli has spoken about the eligibility, and she has put emphasis on the submission dates that you need to make that the zone, that you do know what the time zone of the application is. As Samantha has mentioned, that they are quite strict with regards to late applications. Megan has shared about the different documents that you need to submit. That is your CV, your transcript, your reference, but she also made mention of there are certain essay questions that you need to attend. So essay questions do take some time to do. So you need to also wrap your mind on what key aspects you would love to share. So you need to take time out by doing that. So don't give yourself sometime before the application deadline. I know for a fact that the next application, so that the applications are open currently, and the deadline is around the 15th of December. So you need to make sure that you do take note of those particular deadlines. Ntombi shared about the differences, which I think weigh quite a lot towards your overall application. And she has mentioned that you need to choose someone that can talk about your characteristics. She also mentioned that you need to share the details of the application so that your referee can include that into the document. How to write a cover letter, and they have put emphasis on be strong and confident, stay interesting, and think about the points. And I think that is why that I previously mentioned, that you need to know what you want to say and how you need to structure that. Tell the reader who you are and push your personality in terms of the document so that they can relate to what you say, and also remember you after the reviewer has looked at your application. And I think that is quite important. So they also close by saying, start strong, but also close strong with confidence. And our last speaker spoke about the GPA percentages. So I'm just going to repeat what she said. You need to take your average percentage, you divide it by 100, and then multiply it by 4. And that will be your GPA that you will need to include in your application. So I want to thank all the speakers for their time and also the effort put in the preparation of today's webinar. You guys have shared a lot of insight information. As I've mentioned, the applications are open now. So these are the things that we need to take in consideration to be a successful recipient. You guys are also talking out of experience, as all of you guys were the recipient of the Golden Key Travel Grant. And I hope that you guys had a blast time in Australia by representing South Africa. So thank you so much for all the effort that has gone into the webinar. And I also want to thank the Golden Key Southern Africa staff for allowing us to present this content with you guys today. But before we're going to close off with everything, I just want to hand it over to Jillian, as she would like to share some information with regards to the scholarship. And before I'm going to hand over to her, I just want to say thank you, Golden Key staff, for allowing this platform for us to share our experiences and also motivate and encourage the other Golden Key members on how to successfully apply for scholarships and to utilize the platform that Golden Key has available. I also would love to remind all the participants today, I want to thank you guys as well, and I want to encourage you guys to take note of the Golden Key Academy, where you will have more of these sessions, that we will talk more about the relevant topics that you guys would love to know. So please stay tuned, please check out the website, and I'm going to hand over to Jillian. Thank you from my side. And also, Megan, thank you for standing in for me while I had some difficulties with my internet. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Jillian.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. As you guys know, I'm Gillian Klutter. I'm the Associate Director for Golden Key in Southern Africa. And I think it is important for everyone to understand where to go and to physically see where you log in to go and apply for these scholarships. So I want you guys to bear with me as I share my screen. Sorry, we have another attendee here at the back. That's the good thing for working from home. So apologies for little Miller. Okay, I am going to share my screen with you. If one of the speakers will just confirm that they can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Okay, so you're going to go to the Golden Key portal, go to click on my account. You're going to log in. So I know there might be people on here that haven't logged into their account recently. So you can, if you already a member, you haven't gone onto this part of the website, please go and click here on get a new password, or you can, if you forgot your password, you can actually reset it. So just remember to do the reCAPTCHA so that you can log in. Okay, you will see there's a tab right at the top that says scholarships. So you can just click on that. Okay, once you're in here, you will see that available for Honor Society members, you can say, go to the scholarship portal. It will open another tab. Okay, once you're on here, you will see that you have to register for this. It's so you will just have to do that. It was part of the presentation today as well. But you will see here now, for example, this is the Golden Key International Leadership Council Award. This is available worldwide, so you'll be able to see which ones are specific country-wise, the required language. You will see the amount that it is worth. So that one is just an award, which I think Ricardo received previously. But this is the Undergraduate Achievement Award. I'm going to use this one as an example, as it is an international, worldwide available scholarship. So once you click on there, it'll tell you that there's many of them available. The deadline for this specific one is the 23rd of December. Please double check all of your deadlines. Then here, I saw some members asking about how do you check eligibility requirements. You'll see on here, you must be a Golden Key member, must be a current or active undergraduate student. You can be full-time, part-time, as long as you registered in that program before the 23rd, which is the deadline. And then you have to have a GPA minimum of 3.5 out of the 4-point scale. And because South African students tend to, when we look at our academic scales and compare them, South African students have to have a minimum GPA of 3.0. So just take that into consideration for all of the SA students online. Then your requirements, it will be a personal statement that you have to write, a letter of recommendation, your resume or CV, and a current comprehensive academic transcripts. The unofficial transcripts just refers to those that you can pull off online that haven't been stamped by the university. And then, yes, make sure that you also look at the criteria. So this one specifically puts emphasis on academic excellence and how the individual lives out the values of Golden Key on a daily basis. So this is your first step. So I was just wanting to make sure that all of you know exactly where to go and what to do when you start applying for these scholarships. Apologies, let me just go back one. So yes, please just have a look. There's a number of different scholarships available. We just paid out to Southern Africa students that received these. It does pay out in Rand, which is also a query that we get a lot. So it will be the equivalent in Rand of this value. So please just have a look, scroll through, make sure that you have got all of the different points of the scholarship noted before you apply.
I'm hoping that that also just helps you guys a bit with where to go and what to do when you apply for your scholarship. You guys have been amazing, and I want to say to all of the attendees online today that Golden Key hands you a key, but you still have to unlock the opportunities that we offer. So we are not able to apply for these scholarships on your behalf. It's something that you would have to do from your side. So please log on, apply for these opportunities. If you don't receive it this round, apply again. You are able to apply for as many of these scholarships at once as you possibly can. So you can apply for each one of these that it's criteria you meet, and you also allowed to apply for these even though you have a different bursar. So we get that email often to ask, I've already got a bursar or scholarship. Am I able to apply for this? Yes, you are. So there's no no way that you're not able to apply for this, even if you already have that bursar. So I want to thank everyone online. These people that spoke today, our speakers, our members, they've grown with Golden Key, and they opened up today to share that opportunity with you guys, to say how they managed to do it. So I'm hoping to see all of the names that I see in the attendees on the scholarship applications. So please remember to not do it last minute. Thank you very much for everyone online. We see thank yous coming in, and we appreciate your time as well. Thanks everyone. You are able now to end your session and log off by clicking the end at the bottom right hand side of your screen.
Gillian, can you just respond to one question? I see that people ask if the deadline is middle December, but the marks or transcripts will only be ready on the 23rd of December. Do they use their most recent results?
Yes, you would be able to use your most recent results. Just make sure to pop an email to scholarships@goldenkey.org saying that you've attached your most recent due to the academic year being extended. You will only have your latest results by the 22nd, for example, and you will then subsequently attach the latest transcripts as soon as you have it. And then just make sure that you do follow up that mail. We'll all make sure from our side that our international officers also know that our year is extended academically. I hope that answers that question. The next round after this round would be in June next year. So for those of you whose academic years will run over into next year, you will be able then to apply for the next round, which will close mid-June. Almi, is there anything else that you noticed that you want me to?
Yes, please, Gillian, thank you. As a personal recipient of many scholarships, I think you are ideal to answer some of these. Many people ask, what is the minimum GPA that they have to apply?
A 3.0 for South African students.
Thank you so much. And then there's another one that I think that we should just look at, and that is a personal statement the same as a motivational letter?
Yes, it would be the same. It is how you see and your personal views, your motivation to apply for this scholarship. So it is the same.
Thank you. I just want to check. Can you please give that email again? It was
scholarships at goldenkey.org.
Yes. So anonymous, you're right. Just add .org at the end. What if my latest available results are not so good and my better results are coming in February? Well, I think
Then
you've
you
answered
will,
yourself, Maluele.
yeah, you'll
Yes.
have to wait for the next round of June applications for the scholarships.
And then who can be typically references? Pretty also asked that, so maybe we can just remind people who references can be.
Okay, so I would personally look at, there's a difference between getting someone to be a character reference. That can often be a mentor, a friend that you can use, or you can use a reference such as if you want to write a reference, I would say for a scholarship application, I would typically ask a lecturer that knows you well, an employer, someone like that, that really knows about your work ethic, about how driven you are. So there's a wide variety of people that you can ask. I saw someone in the Q&A asking if a family member is a good reference. It would depend on what you are looking for in a reference. So say, for example, for a character reference, you possibly can use a family member. But for example, previously I was employed in a family business, then a reference from a family member would be more accepted than being just a letter with regards to your academic results or your you being driven. Yes, so there's a wide variety, and I would suggest that you guys really assess who you are looking at when you are asking for a reference with relation to the scholarship that you are applying for.
And then we can also just mention that with the YouTube link, we will also again upload how to calculate your GPA,
Yes.
and also some tips from the presenters who were recipients of scholarships.
Yes, and if you're not online on our Telegram groups yet, I would encourage you guys to just pop us a mail at southafrica@goldenkey.org so we can give you the links to join those. We every now and then also post the GPA calculation on there, and also give you a reminder about deadlines that are coming up.
Thanks, Gillian. And then I think a last one. Please show the group how to update their profile in HubSpot.
Okay.
We also had a number of questions on those.
Okay.
What does it mean to have an updated profile?
I think if I meet anyone or anyone on here knows me, that would be the first thing that I ever ask you, is your profile updated? So I'm going to share my screen again. Let's quickly go back to, this is the website where I logged in, where I showed you guys, if you haven't logged in, where to ask for your profile to be updated. So I've now logged in. Then you go to my account. You'll see there's your dashboard, your order status, and then there's your account details. Once you press this, there's a safety that might lock you out and you have to log back in. So don't stress if this happens. It is just a safety feature when it comes to updating your profile. So you can just then go back to account details. Okay, once you're in here, you'll see mine is not filled in just because I show my screen quite a lot, but you can add and update a profile picture, your display name, your email, password. Then here is quite some of the important details that we need. You please fill in your gender, your ethnicity, your major, field of study. We get corporates that specifically want to advertise, for example, a Women's Day. Then I would need to know your gender to be able to add you to that group to receive that mail. So you can update that here. You can, under the major fields of study, go and have a look. There is 168 different fields of study. So I'm sure that you guys will find something that relates to what you're studying. This also helps us to assist in matching you with opportunities that are relevant for you. Then your graduation date. This is something that is really important. It doesn't have to be an exact, I graduated the 1st of the 1st, 1970 or whatever. It can be a filter in terms of, you guys are, for example, some of you are graduating in 2 years' time. So put the last day of the year that you're graduating in, or the first day of the following year, so that we just have an indication when we filter, are you still studying? Have you graduated? And then also what your postgraduate graduation plan is. So this is how you update your details. You can put your current address and your permanent address in. This is if you order anything and you want it delivered. I hope you guys have seen our new online shop with all of the different products in. And then I get a lot of emails about not getting the emails that my friend does. Go in, make sure your permissions are set and that you have not opted out. If you in a while have not opened an email from us, after 10, our system will automatically block you. So I would encourage all of you who haven't opened your mails to just go back into your email address and open as many mails as you can. Just open at least 10 of them. So that will enable you to get back on the list again. So while we are on here, you'll see for those of you who haven't been online on the new page, just ignore my prices. I'm an admin on here, so my pricing isn't correct. But we've really expanded our merchandise section as well. Some of them are international products, but some of them are South African products. You will be able to go on, do your talent scan for free. I know it says 100 here, but this is my numbers are incorrect. Please go on and do your free talent scan. It shows that you're interested in where you are and what your talents are, and add it to that CV when you are applying for scholarships and other opportunities. Then our last thing for South African students, also go to the South Africa page at the bottom here, and you'll also see specific, our corporates and all of that is specific to South Africa. There we go.
Then a last one. I hate to see that people leave and we haven't responded to all the questions.
No problem.
Somebody says they have a problem to access the official and non-official results. The non-official results can't be converted to PDF. Is it fine as a screenshot? The finance admin is not able to send me my results to my financial block, or due to my financial block. How do I deal with this situation?
I would say if you can do a screen grab of it, of the full page, that would maybe suffice. But I think you should pop us an email to southafrica@goldenkey.org. Unfortunately, we can't get it from the university. We've had a few members that struggled with the financial block on their profiles. But if you can get a clear enough shot of the screen that shows your student number or email address, I'm sure that if you get all of the results, all of the signatures or whatever is on your financial or your academic transcript, we would be able to use that as proof of your academics.
Right, now it seems to me most people responded. I think you should write your question in Q&A section, Danielle. Danielle, I responded to Danielle.
Oh.
They want to know regarding the GPA. Is it for a specific year or cumulative?
So if you are, for example, applying for your undergraduate achievement award, you're in your second year, it would be an cumulative academic average. You can also have a look, because some scholarships will be quite specific in your last year of your academics. So just have a look at what the requirements are, but I would say to use your cumulative academic average when you are applying for the scholarships.
Right. And if they don't have it, Jules, they use the current transcript and do the GPA on that one.
Yes, that's correct.
That the one that they submit.
Yes.
All right. So let me quickly check if there was another one. I think we threw all the questions now. If you do have more questions, please do not hesitate
I think there's one more.
to mail us. Thank you, Tuli. You can read that out to Gillian.
What if the letter of motivation asks for leadership experience, but me as an applicant have none? What should I do? I am a new Golden Key member.
I would tell you to connect with your committee on campus to start gaining leadership experience. Sometimes members underestimate the opportunity you get to serve as a leader. It's something that you don't often get the opportunity to do. As a newly joined Golden Key member, I remember it's quite a few years ago, but I also, as I became a new member, I immediately started serving on the subcommittee for my chapter at university. But I would say to really try and gain some leadership experience, but also look, you should have some balance between community service, your academics, and leadership. Sometimes we tend to focus very much on the academic side of it, and there's so many opportunities for you to take as a leader in your community. You might think that you don't have leadership, any leadership activities that you have done, but do you serve at your local church? Do you, all of that still links up to leadership positions, leadership opportunities. So I would say assess what you are doing, reach out to us if you want to be connected with a committee online. You can serve as a subcommittee member, as a volunteer, as a committee member. There's a lot of opportunities for you guys to get involved in these leadership structures. The networking that you do is really quite amazing. Throughout the years I've served through all of the Golden Key positions, I want to say I served as a subcommittee member, committee member, volunteer, co-SM, all of it, as an advisor. So yes, just take the opportunity and take that step, because later on in life, these are actually networking opportunities that will later assist you in doing what you want to and having connections that you would not have had. So I want to encourage you guys to take that step and reassess what you see as a leadership position. If you don't want to get involved with Golden Key specifically, go and look at what you can serve in your community.
Yes, I think, thank you, Gillian. I think we've been through it, and we can give back to Ricardo. I think they're all good now.
Thank you very much.
I
Thank
just
you,
maybe,
guys.
before Ricardo takes over, I just want to say one thing. A Golden Key member need to focus on all three the pillars of Golden Key: academics, community service, and leadership. And that's our mission. It's not only about academics. And that's why these scholarships many times look at all three dimensions. So reach out to your chapter and get involved. And also you can register as a thought leader on the Golden Key Academy, the GKA. If you need more information, again, please mail us at southafrica@goldenkey.org. Back to you, Ricardo.
Thank you so much, Dr. Elmi and Gillian. I think you guys summarized everything up so nicely, what we shared, and bringing everything into perspective by having the website display along with the questions, answering some of the questions. I think you have clarified a lot of uncertainties, which is amazing, and I would love to thank you for your time and all the effort by going through these questions and answers, and also by showing the website. So overall, thank you everyone for your time and effort. I truly appreciate the time that you guys decided to spend with us. And I also want to thank all the speakers once again. You guys are amazing, and thank you for availing yourself to share your experience and your information to the Golden Key members that wants to apply for the current cycle or even for the following cycle. So thank you so much. I highly appreciate that. And back to the South African head office, thank you for the platform that you guys do create for the members. And we do not take this quite lightly. We put praise to the opportunity that you give to us, because now we can share with other people as well the type of platform that is available, and the type of workshops that Golden Key presents, and also the quality of the speakers that we do invite to host these webinars. So thank you very much to you guys as well. I highly appreciate it. And also Anita for sitting in the sessions and answering some of the questions. We also appreciate your presence. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day further, and we will hope to see your applications popping up soon. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone. Okay, so it seems like all the... Jillian, can you stop the recording?